Ladies and gentlemen, this is your broadcaster speaking. Today's broadcast against Denver Broncos versus Buffalo Bills is sponsored by Rocky Mountain Officials. Hey Broncos fans, are you looking for something to do during this year's football season because the Broncos are already 0-3? If that answer is yes, I have the right thing for you.
It's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA.
My company, Rocky Mountain Officials, that I'm working with, is hiring for this year's fall football season. While the Broncos regroup, you and your friends can be making some money officiating football the right way. Jeff Wood, my boss, is hosting a free flag football clinic this Saturday at 8 a.m. We will have uniform shirts available to purchase too. The clinic is Saturday 9/28 from 8 o'clock to 9 a.m. in the morning. We have games available Saturday and Sunday for the next 6 weeks. Stinger Soccer Complex, 11200 West 58th Avenue, Arvada, Colorado 80002. Because the Broncos are already 0-3, if you live in the Colorado area and you are interested in making some money this year, please stop by by Saturday between 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. to make some money, because the Broncos are only going to do good in Madden. Thank you, Rocky Mountain Officials, for sponsoring today's game.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Bills being led out by their quarterback, the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen. Of course, the Bills, they've been looking for a franchise quarterback for a number of years, and now they think they have their guy. He certainly had his moments as a rookie, including an impressive win in Minnesota in his second NFL start.
We are keeping Kyler Murray on the bench, getting him ready for the playoffs.
The bootleg. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley.
So Carson Wentz will start until we get to the playoffs.
Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. It's Allen.
Hey, defense, wake up.
Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown.
They go play action here on first down. He's got his man in the crossing.
Damn! You see this drive. You see how they're starting out.
Executed 22-yard gain. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. His throw caught. What about the foul? And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 more yards there.
Oh my God. This is not how I want to start a game.
And again, it's Allen.
Defense. Fuck.
Into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Now we're down. All right.
His 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
You know, as a head coach, you can't hide everything from your team. They know that people think that they're not supposed to be on the field with them. So they designed a heck of a game plan, didn't they? Nice pass start, get out after them, and maybe let everyone know that they're here to compete.
And get this home crowd behind them early as well.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, isn't it? Because if you get the home crowd involved, sometimes you can ride that wave, and that gives you a little added pep.
So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. Seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
Running with Kamara. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Wentz. He finds a rookie from Iowa, T.J. Hawkinson. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Toss play, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Alvin Kamara hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
Oh,
and let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball
There you
back.
go. That's the kind of stuff we need on our first drive.
And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. And bulldozing his way, and he's into the clear. He's at the 30, 20, and all the way home for a Bronco score. Alvin Kamara, 88 yards, and the Broncos have taken the lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, that's synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV.
That is some breathing room right there.
Giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Especially when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the turkey leg award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden, because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there.
No, that's the only Super Bowl these guys have. Raiders have won.
They work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Coach Madden.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They run it from the gun with Yeldon. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line.
One good drive. Second one was shit. This one's about to turn to shit. Alright. Snap the fucking ball.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd.
Get sacked by Khalil Mack.
Broncos get there and take him down. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Yeah, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw is Wentz. Over the middle, complete. It's Myers. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. One heck of a 3rd down conversion, 33 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run. This is Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. From back at the 3 now, this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by McManus is good. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. Derek Carr lighting it up. 3 touchdown passes there. From there, we'll head to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Josh Rosen with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that game all tied up as they host the visiting Giants. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This one taken just inside the 10. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. Raiders continuing to roll. They have opened their lead even further. Derek Carr hooking up with his guys early and often. 3 first-half touchdowns. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just a series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, worthy adjustments.
A big
there you go.
And he might go all the way. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Alvin Kamara with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A. They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit? They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Khalil Mack, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be 4th down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. Only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Still going. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 57 yards. And the Broncos push further out in front. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Yeldon fighting. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos.
Can we actually have that one?
Take over at the 34-yard
yes, we are.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. That goes for a gain of 31.
Here we go.
Back now in Buffalo. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. To throw, it's Wentz. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Kyle Juszczyk, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
Singing too.
Oh,
she's singing.
She's on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver.
Chef Jalen Ramsey.
They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick 6.
One good drive to start off the game.
This one's in the air.
They've been shut out ever since.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like when we talk about the defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Allen now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. To throw, it's Allen. That one complete to Yeldon. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Draw play. This is Yeldon. And he loses the football a second time.
How the fuck did we not get that one?
The Bills on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses.
Ramsey could have had it.
Incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Okay. They really gonna fake me, but
so look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out, and he is gonna need to bomb. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos
they tried
on
to
the
fake
field
me.
ready to start their next drive.
I thought they were going to actually
be the best. You just go out and complete control of this game here for hopefully one final possession.
And it's a culmination of...
There he goes, right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear it?
Didn't that well.
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that will be
Ramsey could have had another one.
Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They can now enjoy the final stages of this one. A very convincing win. I don't know what was said in the locker room, but whatever it was, it worked pretty well.
It certainly did, and it's probably a capper to everything that was said during the week, because they go over every eventuality. I mean, you know how coaches are. They want to cover every minute detail, all the way up to how much time does it take to walk from the locker room to the field, you name it. When it all comes together and results in a victory, everyone feels pretty good about that.
Well, the I's were dotted, the T's were crossed in this one for them. Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. That is caught at the 7. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
Auto zone.
So for the Broncos, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.